Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome into another edition of That's What I Think with Brandon Swanson, and I am your fearless host, Brandon Swanson. Happy again to be with you on another, hopefully, beautiful Wednesday where you are watching. But this week, talking Kevin Spacey. Kevin Spacey, a guy who really was, I think, a popular name, especially one of the best Netflix TV shows, House of Cards, certainly one of my favorite TV shows, House of Cards on Netflix. That career that Kevin Spacey had built up quickly spiraled and spiraling downward and out of control. So, I'm sure you've already heard that Netflix has suspended House of Cards. They've shut down production. That is done. That is over. That's after allegations from actor Anthony Rapp that came out and said that when he was 14 years old at a party, Kevin Spacey threw him down on the bed, jumped on top of him. Kevin Spacey, 26 years old. Now, of course, this came out, and Kevin Spacey said, I don't remember this. I don't remember this at all, but if I did do it, it's because I was in a drunken state, a drunken stupor. Oh, okay, Kevin, that's fine. No big deal then. If you were drunk, it's okay. Come on. I mean, I'll be honest with you. That is frustrating. That is so frustrating. People need to be responsible for their actions, whether they're sober, whether they're drunk. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Oh, you killed a guy when you were sober? Fine. Oh, you killed him when you were drunk? Oh, no, okay. It doesn't matter if you were drunk, if you were sober. You committed the crime. You committed the act. That's the problem. That's the problem. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't give someone a pass because they were inebriated. So Netflix recently dropped Spacey completely. Dropped him completely off of their network, off of their streaming channel. Done with Kevin Spacey. They came out with a quote, very well-crafted quote that says, quote, Netflix will not be involved with any further production of House of Cards that includes Kevin Spacey. Clean and simple. Kevin Spacey, off of House of Cards, off of Netflix. He's out. Kevin Spacey was also working on a film called Gore. It was in post-production. Spacey was starring in it, and he was producing it. Gone. Done. Not going to be seen. Not going to be showed on Netflix. In post-production. They were that close. Done. They scrapped it. Kevin Spacey is being taken away from everything with Netflix. Kevin Spacey is being taken away with everything that he was working on. All the hard work that you're putting into something. Thrown away because of your own actions. Think about that. Because this doesn't necessarily relate to all of us, but the concept does. The smallest thing that you could do that you don't realize the implications that it has on somebody else or on yourself later down the road in life. We've got to be thinking. We all do. Myself included. Everyone who sits in front of a camera and does this, we all have to be thinking about it, because not one of us is above the law at the end of the day. We're starting to find that out in Hollywood, because they're finally starting to have some law and order in Hollywood. So after all these allegations come out, again, Anthony Rapp, the first guy to come out and say this, Kevin Spacey comes out and says, well, I'm a gay man. That's fine, Kevin. But that does not help your case right here. Just because, again, like previously mentioned, just because you were inebriated doesn't mean, okay, it all goes away. Just because you're a gay guy doesn't mean that it makes it any better. Usually someone comes out on social media, they come out as gay, as lesbian, as bi. They get all this support from the community. They get this support. They get this love shown towards them. It's a big thing for someone to be able to come out and say that. No, not this time. People put it on the chin of Kevin Spacey, and he took it on the chin, that's for sure, because They came out, and not one of them that I saw, not one Hollywood person came out and supported him and said, okay, yeah, Kevin, we support you, blah, blah, blah. Because most people came out and said, you're doing this to hide the actions that you committed. And that's not what we're about. That's absolutely not what we're about. And I actually commend those people because they did not let Kevin Spacey coming out and saying that he was gay interfere or overshadow the fact that Kevin Spacey had still done something wrong. So Anthony Rapp was unfortunately just the start. Multiple people recently have come out and said, and these people were staff members on the set of House of Cards, have come out and said that they were sexually harassed by Kevin Spacey, with one of them saying that they were sexually assaulted. That's absolutely terrible. The word used by people with Kevin Spacey working on the set of House of Cards, toxic. A toxic environment. You ever worked in a toxic environment? A toxic workplace? It's not fun. It's not fun. That is not the way that people should have to feel while they're at work, while they're going and trying to get their job done, trying to move forward, do good things. You're in a toxic work environment. Absolutely horrific. So Kevin Spacey now is taking time for evaluation and treatment. Here we go again. Evaluation and treatment. Harvey Weinstein did the same thing. He needed to take time for evaluation and treatment. I don't get this. I don't get this. Just because you have lots of money and you have power, you get to take time for treatment and evaluation instead of going to jail? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Joe Schmo, I've said this before, any Joe Schmo who this happened to, that he did this or she did this, committed these crimes, they're going to jail. They're going to jail. They're not going to some luxury treatment facility to talk about their feelings. I don't get that. I still don't get that. I mean, I feel like I've been here. I've talked about this before with our good old pal Harvey. But again, this is wrong. This is a crime committed. There should be no pass because you're rich and famous. There just shouldn't be. But there is. It's what we're coming to find out. You're rich and you're famous. It's okay-ish. It's okay-ish. Some people will be upset with you. They won't talk to you. But you don't go away. Not to prison. You go away to Arizona where they can put you up in a nice treatment facility where you come out and the sun is shining and you feel good. You can just feel good about yourself. I mean, it's disgusting. It's absolutely terrible. But again, it's where are we going with this? How are we getting to a point where this is not happening anymore? I think that this clearly shows that it does continue to happen. And people finally feel like they can come out and say something. But it's not enough. I don't know if it ever will be. But we need to continue to get to the point where we can come out and we can say these things. And just because someone is rich or famous or have power, whether they're in Hollywood or whether they're in your own place of work, they shouldn't feel like they're above the law. Because, quite frankly, they are not. And Kevin Spacey, for a guy who I thought was a great actor, played a great role, especially in House of Cards, and in a number of other movies. House of Cards up for 5 Emmy nominations. Kevin Spacey up for 5 Emmy nominations for, I think, Best Actor in a TV series drama. Host of the Tony Awards. And this is what he's become. To quote Donald Trump, sad. Now, I wanted to wrap up the show today by talking about something that I'm sure many of you probably figured I would talk about. But I said the other day, and I said it to a good friend of mine, Ricky Widmer, here on MVP. I said, Ricky, I'm not going to talk about this. I can't talk about this. And it's the Texas Baptist Church shooting. 26 dead. 26 innocent lives taken again. And it's just sad. It's never not going to be sad. But it's one of those things where, again, you ask the question, what's being done to ensure that it doesn't happen again? And yet again, we are looking left, we're looking right, and it's just people talking on both sides, nothing getting done, no progress being made, none that I'm seeing. We can go on Twitter, we can share our thoughts, we can share our feelings, we can send prayers, we can send positive thoughts, but we aren't going to send the people who were killed in that shooting home to their families. It's not going to happen. The words can't even come out because it's just sad. It's a terrible tragedy yet again. I mean, we're almost getting to the point where we're like, well, thank goodness it wasn't 55 people. And I don't mean that in a joking way at all. It's that sad. Something needs to be done. Something needs to be done. I've said it before. I'll say it again. It does. What can be done to ensure that this doesn't happen again? We've got to make sure that we're protected. We've got to put procedures in place to make sure that we, American citizens, are protected. It's that important. And it should be that simple. Plead with your lawmakers to make sure that they can do that. Because right now, we're the hope, not the lawmakers. And that's what I think this week. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in for another week. Really appreciate it. Always enjoy having you come in and watch these videos. And make sure, I know I haven't said it in a while, make sure you comment down below if there's anything that you'd like me to talk about, anything you'd like me to discuss on here. You know, obviously I have a lot of things that I like to talk about, but if there's anything that you'd like to have me talk about, please make sure you comment down below on this video. Again, thanks so much for watching. We'll be here again next week. When I say will, I mean myself, and Ricky will be in the background running the camera. But next week, Wednesday, 2 p.m. Central, 3 Eastern, and 12 Pacific. Thanks so much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend. So long.